about all the sports going on right now. What you got?
72 hours, knocking heads. What have you learned?
Still way too early. We got 6 practices last week. That I didn't know how I would feel about the recovery day, the non-practice day. I understand why the NFL does it now. I thought it was really good for coaches. I thought it was really good for players, just to rest up and just get their legs underneath them. I think they got a little pop in there right now just because they've been rested up for about 48 hours. We went Friday morning because of weather in the afternoon, and so brought them back and recovered them Friday night, and then basically Saturday was a off day with treatments and recovery, and we fed them real good, got them some per diem, let them go home and go out to eat, whatever they wanted to do with it. So seemed to be in a good place today. I liked that aspect of it, but it did give our coaches an opportunity to really catch up on film and evaluate everybody. We're still feeling things through. A lot of young kids that we still got to get a lot of reps on. We're pretty settled with scheme. We're going to continue to install stuff over the next probably week. Today we'll start, hitting red zone, goal line stuff, which we haven't hit yet. But I like the energy. I like the guys, the practices, and everything's been good. We're on schedule. We just got to keep going here week 2.
Yes, the health questions be directed to you. So anything along those lines?
No, it's all good. There's always going to be a couple of things. There's, Corey Winfield is, he's practicing today. He's a tough kid. It's a little unfortunate. He's got a finger he's got to have surgery on, which is going to put him on the shelf for like 2 weeks. But he'll be back ready to go. Marvin kind of tweaked his knee, which he did in the spring as well, and he's going to be out for 2-3 weeks. But he's so dang old, that he can afford to miss. He can afford to miss some time prior to. He knows what to do, but that's a minor thing. So those guys, you won't see them out there. You'll see Corey, but you won't see Marvin out there just because of that. But other than that, we're in good shape.
Javon Durant practicing?
Nah, he's dealing with personal issues, so he has not reported, and don't know if he will. Don't know when he will. He's got personal things that he's got to work on. We're gonna get some other guys ready to go.
Coach Drew Boone down in our way, Charleston, and Wellman, a couple of our local guys. Thoughts on those two young men?
Eli is a team captain and 5th-year senior that does everything right. Excited about him. Reese Donahue is that who you asked about?
Well, Reese too. Yeah.
Reese
and Drew Bowen, yeah.
And Drew, yeah. So Reese is a starter. He's playing really well at defensive end. He knows what to do. He's got experience, and we're happy with his progression. And then Drew has really had a good camp so far. He's the next inside receiver in the game next to Gary and David. So he's playing well. We got him on about every special team, and he's coming along nicely at receiver as well.
Mark Scott about punt return. Your thoughts there? Just you had guys who can catch it, but maybe not get a ton of yards. Would you rather have a guy get you yards, but may not catch it as well?
Can I remind you of what happened 4 years ago?
Oh, we all remember.
Yeah. So I've been studying a lot of that, and Gary does a good job. Gary's as reliable gets, and he's going to get better at it next year. He had a couple of miscues last year, but people were on top of him quicker than anything. So that's what we got to focus on. We got to focus on the line of scrimmage. It has nothing to do with the actual returner. I've had average players be great punt returners because they have space. Our front line is not very good, so we're really focusing on the details of rushing the punt and making those guys retreat, and then the technique of holding those guys up on the line of scrimmage. That's what we got to get better at. It's not Gary. It's what's going on in front of him.
Damon, trying to build that, you talked about that you like your depth and that there's less gap between the first and second teamers. Given your preference for special teams, would you rather have some of those backup guys as the primary role guys on punt return, kickoff return, things like that?
Yeah. The thing I've told these guys with special teams that we're going to focus on, everybody's going to be a part of it. I don't care who you are, you're gonna be a part of it. Now, we don't want Al Benton starting on 4 special teams. We don't want starters having that. We want starters to focus on 1 and potentially 2, just based on who that is and what we need them to do. But they're going to do something, and they're going to take ownership in it. For instance, Eli and Al, 2 of our 5th-year senior captain guys that start. I mean, they're like, we got to get this kickoff return thing right, so they're focusing on kickoff return. It's just one example, and then on top of that, you're going to have another 25, 30 guys that are second team guys or even third team guys that they need to be on as many of them as they possibly can, and we need to develop competition to be able to be on those units, and we have.
Can you get an update on your quarterbacks, Will, Chugs?
Both doing good. Will gets better every day just by the familiarity with what we're doing with him and Jake working together. The timing I see with our top 4 receivers right now, with Karan and Marcus on the outside and Gary and David on the inside, I see improving every single day. We need to continue to develop backups at receiver. I haven't been thrilled with that right now. Chugs has been good too. Usually this time of the camp or spring, after 6, 7, 8 practices, Chugs' his arm falls off. He's so much with his arm that his arm tends to get wore out. Well, we got 3 other quarterbacks that are helping out with that right now. With Israel, with Jack, and there's another young man out here that just joined us that takes a lot of the throws off of Chuck, so he looks really good at this point.
Who's that just joined?
Jake something or other. I know names once they make a play. He's a walk-on for Florida.
Dan, you want to use the training more this year and play him more often?
We don't have many.
Yeah.
We have 1. So the trick is I think Wesco's doing a good job in the backfield playing Eli's position, but if you want to get into where you're using all these tight ends, and I know you're fascinated with them, Mike, as other people are, but when you only have 1, I don't know how much scheme you can do. I mean, you have 1 tight end, you put a bunch of scheme stuff in there, and that 1 tight end goes down, then what do you do then? So we're trending that way in recruiting. That didn't help this team. You got 1 eligible tight end. It's tough to do.